What's going on? It's IC Fall. It's 10 count, and I'm with the largest man I feel like in the universe. How are you, Omos?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Now, we miss you. When are we going to see you back on TV?
Whenever I want to get back on TV.
You know, last time I saw you and Bobby Lashley had a kind of a beef going on, but he's trying to recruit, it seems like, the Street Profits. Maybe you could find yourself there as well?
This is on my show over here, man. This is the Omos show, and that's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Man, we're here at SummerSlam weekend. Do you have a favorite SummerSlam match?
My time of all time, or just for me personally?
Let's go with all time.
Damn.
There's just so many.
There's so many, man. There's so many good ones. I have a favorite one.
Well, I think, Brock and Roman was great with that tractor. We had Bret Hart and Bulldog.
To be honest, since recent, that match is epic. I think the tractor and Brock lifting up the tractor. Brock using the tractor to lift up the ring. That just put it over the top, and just the way Roman sold it in, he's staggering backwards, and you couldn't find that. I know
you can't find that anywhere else in entertainment in general.
No.
But we're here at SummerSlam, and of course, so much is happening with the Bloodline. But yet, we are here with some prospects. We are here looking at future, maybe WWE superstars. Now, have you seen anybody that you're looking at and going, I think we can see something in this guy or girl?
There's a couple of people I've seen that I think they have the potential to be a WWE superstar, but with everything, you have to first love what we do. I would say to everybody, it doesn't matter how talented you are, how your physical prowess, you just have to really love what we do here to be successful.
Now, you go back a few months ago, the Undertaker was praising you. He was saying, better than Andre, bigger than Andre. How do you feel about that? Because he doesn't just go out of his way to give compliments.
He does not. I've been very, very fortunate that someone that I hold in very high regard, the Undertaker, has showered me with such praise, and I don't take that very lightly because I know what he means and I know what he sees for me. I just hope that I can live up to the expectations he set enough for me, and hopefully I can make him proud, because Undertaker is like my wrestling dad. So I hope I can.
He is?
Yes, he is.
Wow.
Yes.
Has he spanked you when you were being bad?
Lucky for me, I haven't been bad, and I haven't done anything that warranted any spanking yet as it pertains to wrestling. So I'm fortunate on that aspect of things.
Yeah, of course. Now you're so tall. Obviously, you hear that every day, probably. But Andre the Giant, so many documentaries about him, about his life and how difficult it was to live in the world of a giant. Is that just obviously airplanes, cars, everything must be difficult, right?
I mean, I can only think about 30, 40 years ago how things were back then, and now when you think about how much have come with technology and people being conscientious of making spaces available for large human beings like myself, even that is still a struggle for me, because most things don't fit me. I kind of have to customize it to make it work for me, but it's part of the gift and the curse of being a giant.
So it's a gift and a curse?
It is a gift and a curse.
So at what point in your life did you suddenly have a growth spurt? Because obviously, you're a little baby, then boom!
I think I was a pretty tall kid. By the time I was 11, I was at 6 foot, so I was pretty tall. And then I had a ginormous growth spurt between the ages of 11 and 13. I went from 6'1" to like 6'7" in like a span of 2 summers, which is insane. So I think that was the largest growth spurt I had in one go.
So your entire life, though, are people looking at you because, when see someone big, they think bully, but yet you're not. Obviously, here you are, so nice to meet you are maybe on TV, but yet, is that something when growing up that you kind of suffered through? Because I see you now, super nice, very smiley, very nice, but yet growing up, I imagine being this tall, that leads down a path of like, whoa, I don't know if I should be friends with him or girlfriends in general, everything.
No, I've always been a guy I've always had friends. Yeah. Now, was I the coolest guy? No. I had a younger brother who just had the cool, like he was just the coolest as ever. So he kind of took all the shot. But I just always knew where I stood and what I stood for, and I just always stuck to myself. And I think once I figured out that my powers and my size, and I think that's when things changed for me as far as socially.
So did coaches always just see you and go, "Hey, want to play football?"
He was like, "Hey, you want to play basketball?" Sure.
That was it. That was it.
That was it.
They just saw you and were like, hey, this guy's super tall. Let's get him on the team.
Pretty much. Let's get him play basketball. That's how I started.
So what advice would you give to someone who is, coming into the business, tall like you, has to go through the same, ringer, but yet here you are and superstar. Everyone knows you. They see you. They obviously know who you are instantly. What would you give advice to someone who's trying to get in the business as big as you? Because, there's not many people bigger than you.
I mean, for someone who is an aspiring giant, I think my first thing I would say is learn as much as you can about wrestling and about all the giants, from Mark Henry, Undertaker, Kane, Big Show, Big Card Ernie Ladd, Bobo Brazil, like Yokozuna, Andre the Giant, The Big Show. I can go for days. We have to Bam Bam Bigelow. Just study those guys, and you get a true answer of what it takes to be a big man. And in studying all those guys, you can kind of figure out your own style of what you want to showcase in the ring. So that'll be the first thing. And then second of all is, I would say it's for someone who's a giant, it's most about being athletic is a must, as well as having the durability and mobility to do what we do, because what we do requires a lot of durability, because we're telling stories that span 2 months or 6 months, so your body has to be able to perform at a high level during those times when you're in a storyline. So I say for a job myself, the most important thing is durability and mobility.
Wow, that is good advice for the rest of the world who wants to become a WWE superstar, just like Omos. Here we are. It's a great day, and thank you so much, though, for your time.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.